What up, YouTube? My name's Droku. Welcome to my channel. And welcome back to my subscribers. Today we're doing some 4runner maintenance. Or we've already done it. I'm showing you what I did, telling you what I did. This is not a tutorial for my 3rd gen Toyota 4runner, 1999, 4x4, limited. Okay? Come check out the old parts. Here's my old stuff. We got the old outer tie rods, the old inner tie rods, the old sway bar linkages. Here's the fronts, here's the backs. We have the old rack and pinion bushings right there. We have the old sway bar bushings. We have the old rack and pinion guide bearing with the guide cap and spring. We have the old lower ball joints. We have the old brake caliper. We have these old brake rotors. Do all these repairs at your own risk. This channel is not liable for any accident you may or may not have. And first and foremost, get you a pair of these. Okay? Safety first. We have all this old stuff. I also did the upper ball joint. Here's the old sway bar linkages. Come take a closer look. They're a little loose. Pretty loose. Not that loose, but the boot is ripped. Boot's fully shot on that. So we replaced the sway bar links. Here's the outer tie rods. You can see the boot's broken. Grease is starting to come out. That's an indicator that your tie rods are going bad. This one's pretty tight, but the boot's ripped. Again, inner tie rods. That is very bad. Shouldn't be able to spin like that or floppy jalopy. They were really shot. Okay. Old rack and pinion bushings. They are looking really old. They weren't fully cracked or failed, but very old. We upgraded to the energy suspension polyurethane bushings. Here's the the sway bar link old bushings. They're looking way old. A little bit of cracks going on there. Here's the fronts. They look shot. Come check out these lower ball joints. See how easy it moves? And look at that boot. Fully bad. Fully shot. Clapped out. These things are notorious for failing, and then your whole tire falls out, does a bunch more damage to your CV axle and your brake lines. This thing is spinning. Got that play. That play is bad, folks. Don't let your ball joints get like this. Replace them. Get OEM. Okay, that's all bad. We replaced it all. Here's our old brake caliper. The old brake caliper. The brakes were looking about shot in. We did all this stuff. The old brake rotor. Okay, upgrade. You're going to need a nice place, a nice area, workshop, shed. You're gonna need some vices. We got a couple of them. You're gonna need your tools. All your tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need a bunch of stuff. And if you don't have a lot of this stuff, I recommend getting it, or if you're not comfortable, just go to a mechanic. Okay? This is not a tutorial. I'm just showing you the stuff that I've done and the things that you'll probably need to do if your car, your 4runner, is 200,000 miles or above and you have not done these things before. I also did the wheel bearings, okay, and the Tundra brake upgrade. It's here. Here's a look at the rear sway bar link from Overland Custom Designs. It's fire. And the energy suspension, sway bar, bushing in red, polyurethane. If you plan on rotating your tires yourself, I suggest you get a portable wheel balancer from Harbor Freight. There it is, Pittsburgh Automotive, about 80 bucks. And here's what a balanced tire will look like with the little bobble or bubble right dead center. These tires are still balanced. Here's a look at the Tundra brake upgrade I did. I got some power stop brake calipers, EBC rotors, and pads. And here's a look of how much thicker the Tundra brake rotors are than the stock rotors. If you can see that, there is a big difference. I also went with the Stop Tech steel braided brake lines. The size caliper I got for the 16-inch rim is a 13WE 199mm caliper so it can fit inside a 16-inch rim. If you have a 17-inch rim, you can go bigger, but I recommend if you have the stock wheels on your 4runner, you go with the 13WE 199mm brake caliper. Here are my old calipers and pads. You can see those pads were already clapped out. Yes, indeed. It's nice to get the Tundra brake upgrade. Here are the EBC brand brake pads. I got the blue stuff. And here were the rotors. You're going to have to go on the website and plug in your vehicle information to make sure you get the correct fit for your truck. Here's a look at the front sway bar links we got from Overland Custom Designs. Very, very crispy. Thank you guys at Overland Custom Designs. And we went with the energy suspension sway bar bushings, polyurethane. We also went with the energy suspension steering rack bushing upgrade polyurethane. Be careful not to damage like I did right there. Here's a look at the other bushing. They are in red. You can go with black if you'd like. Here's a look at my upgraded steering rack guide bearing replacement I did. Shout out to Timmy the Toolman again. You're gonna want to go check out Timmy the Toolman's page on how to replace your steering rack guide bearing. As you can see, this has the hex fitting because this is actually not what came in stock on this 99 Toyota 4Runner Limited. So you're gonna want to go check out Timmy the Toolman's page, like I said, to get the part numbers and everything for this and the tutorial. And here I have modified this coupler nut to fit inside of the steering rack guide bearing nut. See, that fits. If you go to Home Depot, they do have 5/8 coupling nuts that I believe could fit, but this was from my local hardware store and the 5/8 coupling nut would not work, so I had to modify this one to fit in there so you can get your correct torque. Here's a look at the lower ball joints I replaced. That one is from Toyota. Go to your Toyota parts dealership. Here is the upper ball joint I replaced. Again, from Toyota. Go to your Toyota parts dealership. Go give them your VIN number so you can ensure you get the correct fit for your vehicle. Underneath this dust cap is the axle nut, and inside all that stuff is the wheel bearing I replaced. I got that from the Toyota parts dealership as well. I used some rust treatment. Take care of some of the exposed rust that was happening. This is a California vehicle, so there wasn't much. I did the outer tie rod end from Toyota parts dealership. I also did the inner tie rod end. Go check out Timmy the Toolman and others to get the tutorial on how to do this. Some tips when taking off and installing your inner tie rods. You're going to want to go get a 42mm crow's foot, also a 30mm crow's foot. And what I had to do, I had to grind it down so it would fit. You will see if you look at the tutorial videos, you're going to need skinny enough 42mm and 30mm to get on and off your inner tie rods. Check out PhoRunner Channel. His link is in the description. He gives the link on these. I'll also put the link for these in the description. You're going to want these snap ring pliers for getting on and off snap rings for your upper ball joints. Here are the energy suspension parts, polyurethane bushings. These are the sway bar bushings. They're going to be a set of 26mm. Here's the part number for this one. And for the rear, it's going to be a 19mm. There's the part number for that. Here's for the steering rack and pinion bushing set. Here's the part number for that. Shout out again to Overland Custom Designs for those sway bar links, the front and the rear. They give you a cool sticker, tells you not to be an outdoor asshole. Here's the 16mm little wrench they give you to hold the bottom ball joint in place while you get the correct torque for that nut. And here's some extra nuts as well for if you need to extend your linkage if you have a lift on your vehicle. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to Timmy the Toolman. Go check out his channel for all your repairs that you need. All this stuff that I've done, I checked out Timmy the Toolman's channel. Go subscribe to him. His channel is in the description. Also, 4runner Channel. That homie's cool too. PHO-Runner Channel. Go check out him. His channel is also in the description. He helped out with the upper ball joints. He has a really good tip to cut the shaft off the upper ball joint so that you don't have to buy an extra fitting, extra cup to press out that old ball joint. Also, for if you're going to do your wheel bearings yourself, you don't need a shop press. you need what I showed you, and you need those vices, and then this tool right here in this screenshot I'm going to show you right here. Here's the press, the wheel bearing press kit that I rented from O'Reilly. You're going to need about $400 deposit down on that press kit tool, and that helps you get off your hub, helps you press out the old bearings, and helps you press in the new ones. And then there's the press kits for your upper ball joints that you're going to need from the same shop, O'Reilly's or AutoZone, but O'Reilly, I like to go there. And you can rent those tools. You can rent your pitman arm puller, your tie rod pullers. You can rent all the pullers you're going to need for your jobs at O'Reilly. You don't really necessarily need to purchase those tools, because I mean, if you're going to do this job all the time, then go purchase it. And yeah, safety first. Again, do all these repairs at your own risk. Here we have the boxes from the old Bushings. Okay, I showed you the part numbers already. Here's the old stuff. All polyurethane upgrades. Did it all myself. You guys can save a bunch of money and do it all yourself as well if you're mechanically inclined. If you don't know where to start, or you don't have a torque wrench, I might say don't do any of these jobs. If you don't know what a snap ring is, I mean, maybe you learn though, like I did. So not saying don't do it, but be very careful. Do them at your own risk. Make sure you have big 3.5 ton jack or jacks, some jack stands, compressor, all the stuff, all the works. So get these things done on your vehicle. If your vehicle's reaching past 200K, you're gonna need those ball joints replaced for sure, if they haven't been replaced already. And go to Toyota. Get Toyota parts for most of your parts you're gonna need. I went with energy suspension polyurethane bushings because Toyota OEM is rubber and it's not as strong. It won't last as long, and this really gives you a lot more response, a lot better feel driving around in the car now with all this new parts, the new links, the new tie rods, the new bushings, the new guide rack bearing, or the steering rack guide bearing, all this stuff that I just did. Now the car is driving so fire. And then go to your shop, your nearest alignment shop, and get your car aligned after you do all this stuff. You can put it back to close. You can get it close, and you can do the string method to help get your car aligned to get it to the shop. But I recommend going and get your car aligned after you do all this stuff. And if you have any questions, comment down below. You know what I mean? Feel free to. I answer all the questions, and every question is a good question. No question is a bad question. And thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button if you found this helpful, or dislike it if you don't like it. I really don't give a. You feel me? And shout out again to Timmy the Tool Man, 4runner Channel, all the content creators that do the maintenance for these 4runners. Because if you can come check out this 3rd gen, we love our 3rd gen Toyota 4runners. And we want them to look fire. We want them to drive fire. 229,000 miles on this thing. I got it at 171 and loved every mile of that. So get it going. Got a couple more modified upgrades we want to do, and I'll post those soon. So stay tuned on the channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. Again, this is Droku. It's my channel. I love you guys, and peace.